Yo, what's up? What's up with y'all, man? Slipping Counter. We back with y'all again. It's your host, Bink. It's your man, Golden Boy, on our nightly stream. Tonight, we're going to be breaking down. No, last night we talked a little bit about at the very end, the tail end, we was talking about boxing business because it seems to be a popular go-to when a fight ain't happening and folks say it's the boxing business. We working on the business. It's the boxing business, and we be sitting back and be like, what is the business y'all talking about? What is the business? We understand there's a lot of negotiations that go on with these contracts. We know the money is a big part of these negotiations and a part of the boxing business. But sometimes in certain situations, it seemed like it seemed like boxing business is a scapegoat to get out of trouble, to get out of trouble, to get out of trouble. And I'm sitting up here and I'm talking about what really made me think about boxing business was when they was like, David Benavidez offered Canelo Alvarez $50 million to fight. That's a lot of cheddar. That's a lot of chicken. That's a whole lot of chicken. And we're gonna sit here and talk about, it's the boxing business. It's business. It's the business of boxing. Why Canelo don't want to take that 50 million to fight David Benavidez. So what is the business? That's a lot of money. How much more business could there possibly be for a reason to not fight the Mexican monster? What's up, fellas? What's up, fellas? We got King Mitch just joined the show. What's up, man? Shout out to Slippy Counter. We appreciate you, man. Al, Mr. Al, what's up, man? What's up? Just seeing you at practice, man. I'm gonna see y'all again tomorrow. We're gonna work on them hands. We're gonna have them out there like this, glove and everything. I'm telling you, we're gonna have them right. So you can go ahead, man. What is boxing business? What is boxing business? Why is it such a popular go-to when the questions get tough and the back's against the wall? You want to throw boxing business out there to just put a band-aid on the situation. Go ahead.
So remember growing up in school, you might have somebody say something real that's popular or whatever, and it's catchy, and then someone else want to say it because everybody else is saying it, but they can't get nobody to laugh like the other guy
Yeah,
because it's not believable.
right.
Like almost like stealing another guy's joke in comedy.
Hmm.
It's like that. You
Like
have
retelling the joke.
situations. Yeah, it's like for instance, Usyk and Fury. You're not gonna find a guy all the time that's willing to say, "Oh, 40%? Sure, I'll take it." You know what? Forget your 40%. No, no, no. He offered Usyk 35%, and he was like, "Okay." And he said, "You know what? You're not even worth that." Well, big powerful. He said, "You're not even worth that. You're gonna get 30%." Okay, you're not gonna always get that. You know, whatever guy's life expenses is. But not every guy's gonna behave that way.
Yeah.
So some guys, you know, you might say, "Hey, that's not fair." So that's not good boxing business. I afford enough for free in the amateurs with limited sponsorship. That's not fair. So sometimes it might be like that, and that makes perfect sense. But then you got other fighters who will take that same narrative to keep themselves safe from looking like a coward or looking yellow or whatever the case may be. Even to the sense of, I'll use Danny Jacobs as an example. And I remember he showed me love when I said this. He didn't duck Triple D. It's a difference between duck and waiting. Like when he wanted, remember he came back from cancer. He won the title. He wore the black trunks with the pink shoes that night, and he won the title.
Hmm.
And they said, "Will you fight Triple D?" He said, "No, I'm not ready yet. Another 2, 3 fights, I get sharper, my feet under me some more. Then we can see where I'm at then, and then
Yeah, he
I'll
was
know if I'm
honest
ready for
though.
Triple G." See
Honesty.
what I mean? That's honesty. So he's like my skill set. He wasn't trying to wait till Triple G was, had some wars or beat down, or you saw it was, or Max Schmeling when he fought Joe Louis. He wasn't just looking for Joe. He wanted to look. Joe Louis was at the peak of his powers, destroying guys, and immediately he went to, was it the Buddy Bear fight? I want to say the Buddy Bear fight, and I see something, and he realized that Joe with that perfect stance would bring his hand back just enough low to where he could get a right hand in. That's not trying to find a way out. You still fought a prime Joe Louis, you know, and you didn't want to find a way out. You was like, oh yeah, I'm still fighting the project. I just saw a thing I could exploit. You weren't trying to look down like, oh yeah. Now he been in a few wars now. All right, now he's starting to look slight. He's starting to get tender now. I can fight him now.
Mm-hmm.
No, so guys will take that and run with that. It's so many things that I've seen growing up where guys will be like, you know, they always run behind. Oh, you at that network, I'm at this network. Oh, you want this much and I want this much. Or I don't want, and it's like, come on now. That's everybody's excuse nowadays, every time. And for Canelo to know that this is the highest payday that he's gotten, he will get a guarantee of 40. This is what I was told. It was a guarantee 40 million. By the time the back end is done, it will be at the least of 47 and at the highest of 51. And
That's
we
his
all know
biggest.
when you go, yeah,
I thought he did more than that when he fought Triple G.
Floyd or Triple G. I
I
don't
thought
think
he did
so.
more. He did more than
They said
50.
this is his highest payday. I'm not sure how true it is, but we definitely know it'll be damn near close.
Because
You know,
he
so
signed that mega deal with the Zone. It's like a 3 fight, like $255 million deal or something like that. So that
yeah,
might be. I think that's what I'm thinking of. That was a lot of freaking money for 3 fights.
yeah.
Oof, Lord have mercy. He ain't
So
never
for
got to fight
me, it's like that makes zero sense. I'm sorry. Like now you want to throw out there, oh well, I might go to 68 and fight. I'm sorry, he'll go to 60, either 60 and fight Charlo, fight Mel, or go up 35 freaking pounds and fight Badu Jack for his WBC cruiser. Like, and you notice how he picked Badu, and Badu has the WBC because when he was talking about that before the Bivol fight, it was Makabu, and Makabu is one of the biggest knockout artists of this time in that weight class.
Mm-hmm.
We remember how he almost starched Tony Bellew, and Tony Bellew had to come back and starch him in the same fight. So you can't sit there and say to me that it's all, business, because now you're gonna use that cruiserweight jump as an excuse. Because if it wasn't an excuse, you could have just left Bivol alone and went on up 25, 15, 25 more pounds to just go ahead and do your cruiserweight thing now. Why all of a sudden now this is the biggest pull and it's the lightest punching guy that's at cruiserweight with a title and the least threat?
We understand why. The writing's on the wall. We know exactly why. We know exactly why. My thing with boxing business, I understand what you're saying about the fighters. I'm thinking more about the promoters. There's a few promoters and managers that love to lean on boxing business. They love to lean on that. I'm not gonna say no names because we know exactly who they are. They love to lean on boxing business. When you go over there and you
I'll
try
say
to
the
fight,
name. I don't give a damn.
well, you don't mind rustling feathers. I like to stay out the way. When you ask them, why ain't this? The fans is chirping about this fight and they want this fight with your fighter between this fighter, and it could be between Showtime or the Zone or Top Rank and Showtime, whatever, right? And these certain promoters, these certain managers lean on, yeah, we working on the fight, but the business of boxing, it's the business of boxing. At that
Oh,
at,
and
at that part, because
corporate doesn't bring in enough money for me to sit there and
right,
go get a fight done that
you
won't
talking
even
about
draw.
not you doing Bob like that.
And if I want to make the fight, then
Hey
it will
yo,
have to be able to draw enough to be able to make enough for the whole fighters to where we make money. Crawford hasn't bought in enough.
you gonna play with Bob like that knowing he got mob ties?
Give a shit. I stand on mine. I don't care. That's one of the
No, I'm
reasons why
playing.
you like me.
I'm playing, bro. But nah, straight up though, Bob one of the biggest ones. He's one of the main ones, bro. one of the main ones. Why can't we make this fight? Why can't this fight happen?
It ain't the promoter, it's Canelo.
Well, I'm talking about other fighters and other
Oh,
mega
other
fights,
fights?
other fights that we were supposed to have that were way overdue that we didn't get. We've been doing good this year. We've had a lot of marquee fights this year, but I'm mainly speaking on certain fights in the past that we're still waiting on.
You know why? Cause
I know why.
once that bull junk started with HBO going, because remember, everybody put their fights on HBO. Everybody put their fights on
I miss
Showtime.
HBO boxing, bro.
Oh, I
Oh my
miss it so
god, I
much.
miss it. It
Oh
was
my
something
god.
different. It was something different about HBO. Showtime can't do it like HBO did. HBO boxing was something different, bro. Like I don't know what it was. Just it's so nostalgic for me. My fault. Go ahead, bro. My fault.
Yeah, Showtime. No, you're right, because Showtime had great fights too. But man, it was just something
HBO.
about hearing the boom, 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 and you just knew, and you just see the thing come up tonight on Boxing After Dark, or tonight on HBO Championship Boxing. Fernando Vargas will be fighting Yuri Boy Campos, or you'll see
I remember them.
Arturo Gatti, and they will have all different fighters in the commercial. It would be Tyson, it would be Arturo Gatti shadow boxing, it would be this guy, this guy. And it's like, oh, that's Kevin Kelly. Because like whoever was fighting that, you will see them shadow box like in the intro, and then the fighter starting, it would be a wide shot, and then it would go
Yeah.
right to their dressing room, and they'll already be in the dressing room. It wouldn't be no recorded an hour ago of them coming in the arena and then replaying it over. No, it would be them, whatever they were doing at that moment in their dressing room, that's what got put on the screen.
HBO was different, man.
And
I miss that.
it was
Miss that time.
nostalgia. Some people throw that word around too much, too easily, but that word comes to mind like nostalgia when you knew it was Boxing After Dark or HBO Championship Boxing,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just something extra natural, man. But you had Bob Arum had fights on there. Every fighter had fights on there. The thing was, is if you signed, the only thing that was across the street was if you signed a network deal with Showtime instead of HBO. But you had fighters that they promoted did fights on both cards, on both
Yeah.
channels. Don
Yeah.
King did, Arum did, all of them did. So the thing with me that got me is, and I'm just gonna sum it up with this so we can move forward. I remember a fight by the name of Lewis Tyson. I remember Lennox Lewis was with HBO. I remember Hasim Rahman was with HBO, but he had a deal where he can wind up going in between to go to Showtime. Remember Tyson was with Showtime, and the split was how the network was going to do it. Both guys are going to get time. Both announcers are going to get time. They all did the split with no problem, and the deal got done. I remember shortly after that, some years later, when Anthony Joshua and all of them will fight on Showtime, but you still had the main channel was Sky Sports.
Mm-hmm. I
So they
remember
would
that.
have to wait on. Remember how Jim Lance would say, usually we will move forward, but we're under the guidelines of Sky Sports. So it would have to be on their mark, and then we would go ahead and watch the fighters go to the ring. But guess what? Deal was done. Everybody's in the arena. Everybody's getting paid. So how much is it is boxing business? Because last time I checked, these are big fighters, but they ain't bigger than Lewis and Tyson. And them dudes will pass their prime.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Them dudes will pass their prime.
That's
And they
definitely
broke
a fact.
records.
Mm-hmm.
They broke records. So you can't sit there and pull the wool over my eyes and tell me who grew up in this game that it can't get done because of boxing business. Oh well, back then it ain't that far back then, bro. It ain't that far back then. It was sponsorships then. You still had to pay for this, get this sponsor, add that, this and that, get Pepsi, get Coca-Cola, get Budweiser. You still had to do all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So cut the mess. Like, I'm sorry, it's so cheesy and fake to me. That's why
It's
I
frustrating.
missed the Super Six. Yeah, I missed the Super Six tournament. Because when the Super Six tournament was going on, when it was Andre Ward, Jermaine Taylor, Arthur Abraham, Andre Darrell, Carl Froch, um, who else was in that joint? It was Mikhail Kessler in that Super Six. Them Bama's came to get it, and you had to fight everybody. It was a 2 year or 3 year tournament, like two
Mm-hmm.
years or 3 years. But even if you lost, it was like an AAU tournament, but in boxing terms, like you could lose, but you still had to fight other guys. Cause
Yeah.
remember, Taylor lost, then he still had to fight Arthur Abraham. He still had to fight Carl Froch. Remember that? Like
I
all
remember
of
it's
them
like
still had to
baseball. They
fight
do
each
like
other.
double eliminations. Like you can lose, you still be in the
Exactly.
tournament. You gotta lose again to be a kick out tournament. It's yeah, I feel exactly what you're saying,
It
bro.
that made me feel more of an amateur because I never forget the great James Baker, Uncle Ho, your favorite fighter, told me one time in the gym. He said, and you remember when Boog said the exact same thing that Baker said when he was on the show. He said the difference is back then in the amateurs, you had to see that joker right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't. It was no. It wasn't like even in the amateurs now, some more where you could lose and go around and whatever, or just qualify for this or whatever. But point being, in the amateurs, what I liked about the Super Six tournament back in the day, where it was kind of just like the amateurs, that you couldn't hide from nobody. You had to
Right.
see that joker right then and there, and just it is what it is. I
Mm-hmm.
got to see him, man, and it's just he's gonna be what it's got. Because remember, Andre Wood was in that tournament, and he was
Yeah.
the baby. Everybody was like he's the token, just to gloss it up a bit. He's another American and an Olympian, Olympic gold medal. Bring more for even though you had Taylor and Darrell who were both Olympians and medalists. It was like, oh, it was, but you couldn't duck them. That needs to happen more. Because you have all of these guys. Look at 135 and 140. You mean to tell me you can't make a Super Six tournament out of that?
Easily. Easily. Even 147, 154. Easily. 160, 168. Easily. Bro, a lot of these divisions is loaded. 122, 126. Easily. Oh my God. 118, oh my, bro, there's so many fights now. Bro, this era of boxing, where we at right now, there are so many elite fighters in almost every single weight class.
Yep.
There is no reason the best should not be fighting the best. I'm talking about from the smallest dudes
Yep.
all the way up to heavyweight. There is absolutely no reason these fights should not be happening, bro. Should not be happening. I like what Chocolatito and Estrada been doing. What they did fought 3 times already.
Yeah.
They fought 3 times. That's what I'm talking about. Every fight was like that too. Every single one was like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
We need more of that. Like let's get more of number one versus number two. And even though one of them take a L and lose they O, but it was a great fight.
And
Do
they
it
stocks
again.
don't drop.
They stocks don't drop. Do it again. The UFC doing it. How many times we seen Amanda Nunez and now like just doing it over and over and over again, like big fight after big fight after big fight. They ain't tuning up. They ain't tuning up. Did Nate Diaz have tune-ups in between his fights with Conor McGregor or any of them dudes? Did Conor McGregor have tune-ups? No, them boys over there getting it in, bro. Them ladies is over
But
there
the
getting it in.
you gotta understand the difference with the MMA is Dana White is calling the shots.
That's what I'm
He's the
saying.
president
Right.
and
He's
basically
everything. He's
he's
everything.
everything. So he calls your phone. You either gonna pick up the phone or not pick up the phone. But you cannot pick up that phone and not say, nah, I'm not taking that fight because he's gonna get pissed off with
Yeah. I like what Keem
you. You
Mitchell said.
know.
He said fighters are able to turn down fades these days. Exactly, because they can hide behind boxing business. They be hiding behind boxing business. The promoters be
The,
hiding behind boxing business. Dana White got the whole blueprint, and I know boxing will never be what the UFC is. It'll never be because there will never be one promoter over.
entity.
There will never be that. It'll never be that. But if
So
boxing want to compete, though, hold on. If boxing want to compete, because I
uh-huh.
hear it all the time, UFC fans, boxing is this, boxing is dead. People that don't know much about boxing, that don't follow it like we do, and know all the fighters that's really like that, that's really like that. Oh, boxing dead. There's no fighters that I want to watch, and that's when I start sending them clips and highlights of this guy, and this guy, and this guy. UFC though, everybody walking the street know UFC. Everybody named Mama know who Dana White is. Everybody named Mama know who Conor McGregor is, Nate Diaz, Amanda Nunez, people like that. They know these people, bro. They know these people. And if boxing wants to compete, Got to start making these fights happen so we can start turning the tide. And it's entertainment. The UFC's entertainment. Like people that don't really follow, aren't like hardcore fans. What they want to see, they want to see brutality and they want to see a good fight. Boxing is not like that. But if we could
I
get good
hate when people
matchups,
say that shit.
I do too because they don't know the sport. But if we could at least get good matchups, this guy number one, number two, number three, number four. You know what I'm saying? Good matchups consistently. And we've been doing good this year. We've been doing good this year. Had a lot of bad decisions, but we've been doing good with that at least. I think the tide will start to turn, man, and we could bring, the light and shine that light back towards boxing just a little bit.
I mean, I got on the great one. I got on the greatest shirt right now. Sugar Ray, the great
Mhm.
Sugar Ray, the one and
That's right.
only.
If you got Bellator too, you got Bellator too. That's facts.
And Sugar Ray Robinson, you can only say he maybe ducked
King
one
Mitch.
person.
Facts.
I'm gonna get to that, Mitch. I'm gonna get to that. Ray Robinson only ducked five. You could honestly maybe say he only ducked one fighter, but you may say five if you really know the history and depends on how you look at it. It was Black Murder. If you know, you know. It's Black Murderers Row. Uh, you look at the list of those fighters, and they were monsters, man. And they would fight each other, and nobody. Elmer Ray, murderous Elmer Ray, and oh my god, and just anybody go look at Black Murderers Row, but the main guy was a guy named Charlie Burley.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear his name spoken that much anymore. That's why I always appreciated when Devin said, "I want to be great like some of the great fighters of the past, like Charlie Burley." And I literally, oh man, I almost got emotional watching that. This was like his first fight on Showbox, and I was like, "Fine, I heard a fighter coming up that knows who that is." But Ray came in there and snuck in there and watched Charlie Burley spar.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Burley, he saw Charlie Burley spar one round and he walked out of there. Yeah, man, I'm too pretty to be fighting Charlie. Charlie
Shit.
not gonna make me no money. Cause he knew Charlie could really lick him. And but did Ray Robinson say, no, I really want this gate? Because remember they would do movie theaters back then for on closed circuit, which was like their pay-per-view. And oh, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate I appreciate it, Mr. Al. Back then, like when he fought Carmen Basilio, was it Mr. Carmen? Yes, it was Mr. Carmen Basilio. It wasn't Jake LaMotta. That back then their pay-per-view was the movie theaters. That was their closed circuit instead of just it being the stadium. So what they would do, Bink, is they would have that closed circuit go to the movie theater, and they were in, and he wanted that. That was like their pay per view back then, the movie theater.
Mm-hmm.
And Ray wanted a chunk of that, and he told Carmen, he tried to give Carmen 80-20. Carmen said, "Huh?" And Carmen wanted to lick him bad because he pissed Carmen off in front of his wife. He stood him up in front of his wife, put up in his pink Cadillac, and he was like, "Hey, Ray, I just fought I think it was Tony DeMarco. I might be wrong, but it was Tony. He was like, just fought Tony DeMarco, and on the last card, Mad Fight tonight, man, it's an honor to meet you." And Ray walked, like Sugar Ray Robinson with the coif hair,
Mm-hmm.
slick back, pink Cadillac with the three-piece suit on, and the wingtip shoes, and he just kept walking.
Hmm.
In front of his wife. Carmen Basil like,
Yeah.
"You son of a bitch." Goes and sits down, and his wife was like, "What is wrong with you?" He said, because she wanted his autograph. Said, "Babe, I'm gonna lick that son of a bitch one day, and I'm gonna get that son of a bitch in the ring one day, and I'm gonna lick him." And he got his shot, but he tried to give Carmen 20%. Carmen said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa." He wound up taking 35. It was either 30 or 35, which is still a good chunk for back then, because he was Mayweather back then.
Mm.
People just don't really, who can't really grasp it. He was Mayweather, and he still fought them all. If you take away Charlie Burley and Black Murderers Row, he fought them all. Hammer and Hank, who I mentioned last night. He fought Carmen Basilio multiple times, Jake LaMotta multiple times, Gene Foreman multiple times, Bobo Olsen. People don't even remember that. Man, let me grab my stress ball. People don't even remember that name, Bobo Olsen, man. Oh my God, like, it
Are you
blow me.
stressed out,
But
bro? What you stressed out for, bro?
cause this pisses me off. I can't stand when people don't really know. Like I always tell people, boxing is the same old chicken, different seasoning. When people see this, Floyd do, oh, that's new. That's ain't nothing new about that. Charlie Burley, Randy Turpin beat Devil Sugar Ray Robinson with this. He couldn't figure him out, and he beat Ray Robinson that first fight. And Ray Robinson had to dog him the second fight that he was losing to beat Randy Turpin. God rest both of their souls. But point being is, Ray still fought them all from 47 to 60. There was no 54 back then. It wasn't no ducking the 54. You had to either be too small, just go on up to 60. Even and he fought them guys at 60 and did his thing. So the thing that gets me is he still fought all of these guys. You can't sit there and tell me that with right now that can't happen. These guys these days, some of them want it. They want it bad. I've talked to a lot of them, been in the amateurs with a lot of them. They do want it. It's go half and half. The ones who really want it, they put the chomp on them. They pull a bit on them. Pull that racehorse back. The ones that are good but kind of soft a little bit, that you can, I don't want to say soft, but they ain't got that with them like that. Like they look the part. They'll say the right stuff, but they ain't, you could, if you put them up in the era of the 15 rounds, they wouldn't last. And I don't mean like they gotta win, but I'm saying like in your mind, like, man, he wouldn't have made it back then. He would have got hurt. Them type of guys.
Ooh.
And they don't ever sit there and really they coddle them. So it's a lose-lose situation. It's a lose-lose situation because all of these fighters, all of these fights that have taken place, so many fights could have happened. So many things could have been done way before it's time. And now the excuse is, oh, he's at that network. I can't fight him because, hey, how can I negotiate that? We're not going to make any money. Cut the bull.
That shit blows me. Blows the shit out of me. Just like what King Mitchell said. Look at my guy. 42 fights.
Munguia.
Munguia, my fault. Ain't really fought nobody. The De La Hoya special. He won't put Munguia in with a solid opponent until De La Hoya can cash him out.
And you saw what just happened.
Boy, you spitting facts, Mitch.
But Mitch, hold on.
Boy.
But here's the thing. De La Hoya did put him up against two solid opponents. Do you remember, Mitch? Do you remember who they are? Bing, do you remember who they are?
He just fought one, and then the other one, I gotta look it up. I forget. Man, you know my memory's shot.
One of them is he just fought. You're absolutely right. But it's one more.
He has.
He's one more.
He's had a couple tough fights recently, but I'm still not convinced.
I'm not even gonna say Gabe. We know Gabe was gonna come in there and give him what it was time for. But we all know if that was Gabe who fought Kid Chocolate, Gabe would have got him up out of there. And I'm not saying that because that's my boy. Like, I mean that if this was Gabe 10 years younger, hell, 6 years younger, he get him, the one that fought Kid Chocolate, he get him up out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see, Mitch, do you know? And Bing, do you know? Because I know exactly what it is.
I'm pulling up his box right now. Hold on. Okay, bet. Damn. He fought a lot of jokers, man. So definitely Derevyanchenko, Rosado, Saddam Ali, Liam Smith.
Nope. Yep.
I definitely give Liam Smith, because Liam Smith ain't no slouch. That was a good fight for
him. It was Liam Smith. It was beefy. Stop right there.
That was a good beefy fight for him. And I'm trying to see which other
No. You're missing what I'm saying. Do you remember what Beefy did to him? Do you remember what Beefy did to him that night?
Yeah.
Liam Beefy Smith is here. He ain't He ain't dead with it. It's
I
all,
remember
if
that
you
fight.
slip, it's 6 inch. He was hitting Munguia with some stuff, 6 inches sliding on him, just counters all night long. He could not keep up with Beefy, but Beefy was just too small. And the thuddiness of the shots is what, even though he made it to the end, couldn't get there. Derevyanchenko got enough pop, and is also a
Yo,
6 inch textbook
Mitch know
flip
his shit,
guy.
yo. Mitch know his shit, yo. He definitely do.
And you see,
Definitely do.
he gave him all he wanted. And my thing is that he Beefy gave him all he wanted that nobody expected. Everybody expected him to blow through Beefy like he did Saddam. And Beefy was right there using his experience and really was just showing that, oh, his feet stays right there in the pocket. He doesn't slide back. He can't fight going back. He can't even step to his side foot. He can't get out the side door. He can't pick. He can't pick and catch. He'll block, but he can't pick and catch. And if you stay there, he's going to commit. And if you plant your feet, he's going to be here and counter. He's open all day. Here, counter. Here, 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 counter, counter. Is typical textbook counters he's wide open for. Speed it up to this past weekend. Derevyanchenko hurts him in the first round. Did you watch that fight yet?
I haven't got a chance to watch it yet. I've been working my ass off.
Man, he hurt him
I'm gonna catch
early
it though.
and was
I'm gonna catch it
busting
on the
him
weekend.
up early.
I'm pulling up some
And
more stats and facts. Hold on, y'all. I'm pulling up some more stats and facts.
so a lot of these promoters, it's you want to protect your own vet, but you got to remember, not everything is like Don King anymore. Don King could tell you, motherfucker, you taking this fight. If not, I'm gonna break your knee, or I'm gonna break your hand, or whatever he would say. Because a lot, and this ain't me throwing some shtick out there. This is actual documented statements that have been told to fight.
Okay. I feel what you're saying.
And back then, Don King, remember Don King pay-per-views was the shit. Like, man, how me and you was mad about it. Was like it was last year. I forget what pay-per-view it was. We was mad as hell. We said, man, that pay-per-view was some trash. That undercard was trash. The main event was cool, but the pay-per-view, the whole pay-per-view was some trash.
Uh-huh.
And people was like, man, they need to bring back the Don King pay-per-views. Yeah, of course, because Don King would throw his fighters out there, and you had no other choice but to take the fight. You had to take the fight. You had to take what he was paying you. You had to take the fight he gave you. He was like Dana White. He was like Dana White. You had to take it right then and there. So he constantly put on great fights, great undercards that would have been main events on Showtime or HBO on any other given Saturday. That's not there no more. Not
Right.
saying there should be fighters getting threatened. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is he monopolized the game pretty much. Yeah, you had Barbera, but we all remember turning on that TV and seeing his crown on the canvas, his crown with King under it on the canvas, and his name on the turnbuckles and everything. We all remember seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
So he had it.
No, you're
So
right.
he was able to get. Oh yeah. All right, Obakar, Daryl Coley. Who remember that fight? Missed the great Too Sweet Coley from here fought the great Obakar, who's another great fighter. Who, if Obakar would have fought today in this era, he would have been a world champion tenfold with multiple belts. So it's just not that anymore.
Real quick, bro. Sorry to cut you off, but I just seen some
No,
shit.
I'm done.
Shout out to our man Cornflake Thomas Lamana, man. He done worked his ass off. He's been through a lot since he lost to Erislandy Laura. He is currently ranked number 5 in the WBA.
Yeah.
Ranked number 5 in the WBA, man. I am proud of you, Cornflake, man. Keep doing your thing and keep fighting. Keep fighting. Now to get to Jaime Munguia.
Good old Jamie.
I feel what Akeem Mitch is saying. I feel what Mitch is saying. He is 42 or 43-0 with 33 knockouts. All right. What are you doing now? You definitely stepped up against Derevyanchenko. He is no pushover. He is no walk in the park at all. But
But
now,
his flaws
you're right. He has flaws.
that
But now
showed up again.
I'm looking at these rankings. Jamal Charlo, Carlos Adames, Gennady Golovkin, and I don't want to butcher his name. He just fought. He is so vicious. He is vicious, and I don't want to butcher his name. Ah, man. I'm trying to pronounce it, man. Hold on. Try to pronounce it. Zanabek. The guy Zanabek.
Oh yeah.
Kazakh style. The Kazakh style. He out there with Triple G he from out there. That guy is so vicious. He is so vicious.
Yeah, he was the one who fought on ESPN like a month ago, right? And he made the dude
Yes.
sleep standing up.
Sleep standing up, but he's been doing that his past like 2, 3, or 4 fights. He's been putting guys out. He's bigger than Triple G. He's sharper than Triple G, but he has that tenacity and that like that boogeyman like mystique about him. Like he's quiet, he doesn't talk much, he's not mobile, he's not very mobile, doesn't really show a lot of emotion. But when he gets in that ring and he starts shooting that shit from the shoulders, it's like you're kind of like sitting back like this, like, yo, when is that punch gonna land? And when that punch lands, you do this a little bit because it's like it's scary the way he's hitting these guys and the combinations. He's throwing combinations that aren't just, he's winging punches because he sees his guys hurt. These combinations is, you can tell the stuff that he works on the mitts, the stuff that he's working on the heavy bag. This is stuff that he works and he's executing. Yeah. He is scary because he executes. And now we're talking about Jaime Munguia. He 42, 43, 33 knockouts. It ain't like you got 15 fights, bro. It ain't like you 10 fights in now. You got 40-something professional fights. You with 33 knockouts. Now I feel what Keem Mitch is saying. It's time. Now it's time to get to that level. Let's see what you really made of. Because at this point in time, what Keem is saying is that the record looks inflated. Golden Boy's inflating this record for bargaining power to hide behind boxing business. Boxing business. It all circles right back to boxing business. So I want to see either Triple G for Jaime. Carlos Adames would be a good fight. And honestly, Janabek, I don't think I'll be completely honest. I don't think none of them dudes beat Janabek. I don't think none of them. That dude is a pure machine. He is a pure machine.
Ain't no such thing.
Shit.
It's like ain't no such thing as monsters in boxing. Everybody can get hurt. You might have something that'll make you think for a second. But
was Triple G in his prime not a monster? Did he not have everybody saying, oh shit? I'm talking about like 2013, 14, 15 Triple G. I'm talking about
I guess because how I grew up, no. Like I just knew him as, oh, this dude can crack. That's just how I felt about it. Oh, this dude got a piston jab, a slab of concrete jab. And he has a good boxing background, but touch his body, it's over. And later on, that became the thing, right? So a lot of times when they hype you up to be a monster, and he's breakball, that junk. That's
you got a point. What's the guy's name? Puerto Rican guy from New York. He's the monster. He's knocking everybody out in the first round.
Oh, Edgar Berlanga.
You got a point. Now.
I say it all the time.
He ain't nothing like Triple G. When Triple G gets hit with a mean body shot, what he do? He bite on that fucking mouthpiece and he goes. And he marches forward. Man. Have you seen those boot camp videos of like Russian soldiers? And they go through some extreme shit. They built for anything that could come their way. That's how I look at these guys, man. They from that same kind of region, man. And Triple G, Janabek, all them dudes from that region, they got a different kind of like mentality, different fight style. You've been through the amateur tournaments, like that geographical location. I don't know what they feeding and what they preaching and what motivational technique they're using, but they are different, bro. They are different. They may not be the best technical fighters, but they tough as all kind of nails, man. All kind of nails. And I like Janabek, man. I'm not saying he's unbeatable. I'm not saying he's a damn juggernaut, But I think right now, where the 160 division is right now, he damn near is the guy that I wouldn't. I would definitely say boxing business. I'm, I'm not getting there with Janet Beck right now. What you mean? When you fight Janet Beck, boxing business. I'm not jumping in there, dude. You crazy? But we got to see it. But we got to see it, man. We definitely got to see this fight with Munguia because to have a record almost 50 fights, going to you almost had 50 fights. Like,
But remember, I think didn't he turn pro at like 16 or something?
yeah,
And a lot of those fights was over there, and over there is
yeah.
different. Just like it's different in England. You could
Hmm.
maybe fight more often and get, get more looks and things of that nature, So you might fight. You could easily book up 15 fights easy over there. Like you don't really see it too much anymore. Boost was probably the closest to it that I seen recently when he was coming up the ladder fighting like every 2 weeks, every month, nonstop. Like he would
Hmm.
travel and fight. But um
Yeah.
over there
Big,
you could
big
fight
sweating.
more often.
I
Mungia
see.
might have King Mitch said Mungia might have pulled it off because Charlo mental ain't been right for a while. Oscar blew it though.
Yeah, he been
Nah.
going through some shit.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if
Yeah, I
you watched
know.
the what's
Yeah,
that
I did. I
podcast?
did. I did.
What's it? Athlete.
Uh, yeah, I am athlete.
I am athletes. They did a interview, and he didn't even know who Deshaun Jackson was. How the hell you gonna sit across from Deshaun Jackson and say, "I didn't know you played in it. You played in the league. I didn't know you played in the
I'm like,
league. Bro, are you
was it
crazy?
the glasses? Was it the
Are you
braids? I
crazy,
mean, what was it? How did you forget that this is
boy?"
the Rocket? Like,
I played that position. If I had to line up and coach was like, we going zero, we going zero, and I'm looking across and I got Deshaun Jackson lined up across from you, so I gotta man this guy. You're crazy.
you
Time
like,
out.
damn. All
Time
right,
out,
this about to
bro.
be a pass interference. Boom, body slam him early.
Damn right. I'm called a timeout. We ain't got no more timeouts. I don't
For
care. Time
y'all who
out.
don't know, I always try to get this man his props. Like, Bink played football at a very, very high level.
I
You never
tried.
told me your number.
Number 10.
And like, Bink has a tattoo on the back of his tricep that says Hitman 2.0. I thought he was a pretty boy. When he told me they played football and I found out like, oh, he played football at a high level, I thought he was a pit instead of stick guy. I thought he was a pit guy. Like,
Nope.
oh yeah, he gonna make you look bad. He got this side of the field. And he literally, I never forget this, y'all. Funny story. This I said when I asked this man did this, he was taking out his laptop, he was getting ready to do so. He said, no. What you mean? Like modest as hell about it. Though. Nah, I want sticky. I'm like, see, like my tattoo, like I wanted to hit you.
Yeah.
I wanted to ring your bell. Like I could have a clean pick, man. Like I could have to see a clean pick. But if I
Hmm.
could see the clean pick and I look and I see I got a clean shot on you,
Hmm.
I'm gonna forget about that pick. I'm gonna just let my teammates get down. I'm gonna get my lick on you. I'm gonna lay that hat on you, see if I can get you up out of there.
No bullshit.
I was like, in the way that he said it, I was like, oh, he played at a high level because you don't talk in that tone in that way unless you played at a high level for a very long time.
Hmm.
Because I know fighters who talk that way, and it's like, oh, he wanted to hurt you. And he was like, man, he asked me about, yo, so you've knocked out guys? I said, yeah. He said, have you been knocked out? I said, nah, but I got dropped before where I was actually like hurt. I was hurt. And he was like, oh, so I'm telling them the story. And he was like, so have you flatlined anybody? And I told him about incident where I flatlined a guy. And he said, man, it was man, that sounded like this one dude, man. This dude he was across town. He was this big time dude, man. Everybody wanted him, man. And I said, he gave you trouble? He said, nah, he ended up on my highlight, bro. Cause I told Bank about one of the things that when I had flatline, okay, I'll just tell what happened, but I'm not gonna say the guy's name. I flatlined the guy and I kind of made his eyes. Ain't no kind. I made his Bink. Just can you say it for me? Because I feel like I'm not being honorable by saying it.
Yeah,
Like
you put
with
him
his
out.
eyes.
Put him out. He made his eyes roll back. Turn him into a board, a plank. He's on a planking challenge. Happens.
He, I wound up pivoting. He didn't see. He always rolled through a pivot, ping, ping, ping in his eyes, like, and his eyes were on the back of his head. It scared me. I had never seen. I heard guys before, but I had never seen nobody eyes roll on the back of their head. I'm like, oh, what up, Big Shug? Shout out Charm by Shay, man. Always hooking the fighters up, man. But I pivot, crack him, his eyes roll in the back of his head, and I've hurt guys before, but I had never hit someone and his eyes roll in the back of his head. It's like, I mean, white, and it scared the crap out of me. Brent Bogle, Smooth Breath, was the referee, and I said, boo, 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 because it already came, boom, 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 boom. It was all coming, all of it land flush. And he said, man, he came up the middle, bro. And he was big, man. Like every school wanted him. And I met him right there in the gap, man. I met him right in the A gap, and I stuck him. And then the ambulance had to come out there. And when I stuck him, like that messed me up. I was like, for real, because I told him about how it messed me up. That it was a good dude. Like the guy who I hit was a good dude. Like he wasn't like a guy who made me upset. This was a cool dude. Like his eyes rolling about. I'm like, oh, it really bothered me. He said, man, it took me like another quarter to get it together so I could go back and hit again because they had to take him off on the ambulance. I'm like that. So Bink is one of them dudes that he was what you would call the Layla Wood guy. He
100%.
wasn't he got his picks, but he didn't care mostly about the pick. He literally would get a pick if it was a tip or if it was no other people to hit. And he had no other choice. Like, oh, okay. Bro, all right. Like, that was him.
Only I got to pick is the quarterback was hitting. It was a duck floating in the air, and I could go get it. It was easy. If he threw it right to me, I'm picking that joint. Well, he threw that joint across the middle and had a chance to lay that shit. Hey, I'm going for that. I'm going for that skull and crossbone on my helmet. 100%.
I could not play football, bro.
King Mitch, he said, explain the A gap for a player. So pretty much, you got gaps. So when you ever watch a football game, right, and you see the front line, all the guys that get down in the 3-point stance with their hand in the dirt, each gap between those players has a letter. For the basic term, there's a letter, and then when you get to more advanced, there's letters and numbers. So they'll be like, you line up in a 3, or you're in a 3-eye 5 technique, or you're in a 7 technique or 9 technique, but we go A, B, C, D to keep it general. So in the A gap, that's right up the middle. I met the dude. The dude had ran me over. I ain't gonna say ran me over, but he got the best of me. And when he got the best of me, it pissed me off. So I said, next time he runs to my side, I play strong side of the field. So next time he come to my side, I want all that smoke. And mind you, I was like 150 pounds, like tops. This guy, he was recruited. He was like 210 pounds, out of Walkersville High School. Everybody knew about him. He was one of the running backs. Nobody wanted to tackle. But he pissed me off. And I was the kind of guy, I played the game like I wanted to hurt you, but I didn't. Back in my mind, I never really wanted to hurt you and see where you can't walk again, or I didn't want to hurt you. But when I'm on the field, I don't care about you. I don't care about you. Your mom wanting to see you go home, your family, going to school on Monday. I don't care about that. I want to hurt you. So when he got the best of me, I said, I'll make sure I get the best of you. So he turned up that gap, and I just met him right there at the line of scrimmage. Pat out. And like that dude, he was like flat. Talking about flat line, it was a flat line. Like it was so bad. Like no, you see a big hit or somebody get dunked on it, the crowd would go, oh. It was one of those where it was like bink, and it was like everybody was just quiet. Everybody's quiet. It was so bad when I got to my sideline, they was like, "Did you just do that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they looked at me like, "My man Eric, shout out to Eric Parker, man, one of the best running backs in the state." Came to the sideline. That dude said, "Yo, Jay, did you just do that?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Yo, what the fuck?" He looked at me.
And like, it was all shoulder, right? It was no head, right? It was mostly shoulder.
It was. I just met him. I put in his chin strap, and I aimed right for his chin strap. I was looking at his numbers, and I put this right in his chin strap. In the collision when I ran through him, it just like hitting the base, but hitting the home run with the fat part of the bat. It was just gone, man. And
Mitch, when he told me the story in the studio, bro, he said I was telling him about how it was this one mom when I hit the guy that everybody, oh. Like when they knew it was bad, I was backing off. He said, yeah. Like when I hit him, like You know, I usually be tunnel vision focused, bro. Like coming through the tunnel or whatever playing, but like literally, I could hear the crowd go, "Oh!" And like you heard nothing. Everybody was quiet. Everybody was dead because he wasn't moving, bro. I was like,
He was out, bro. He was out. It took like 30 minutes to get him off the field. It's like 30 minutes.
"That's yep." I remember you telling me it was like 30 minutes to get him off up out of
Yeah.
there.
So like I never box, but I understand how it is to play a brutal sport and to play with a mentality where you could either lose your life or you could take a life. You could take a life playing football or
Or be
boxing
maimed for life.
and be maimed. And I know you like y'all laugh. People laugh about my memory loss and shit like that, but like it's definitely it's starting to add up a little bit, man. So I try to slow down and take my time as much as I can because I definitely feel the effects. Definitely feel the effects now. But I wouldn't trade none of them moments, man. I wouldn't trade none of them glorious ass moments playing that sport. I just
Yeah,
got
y'all
done.
don't.
I just got done coaching, man. I can't play no more, so I go out there and I coach them kids and I coach them to play the game with everything they got, man. Everything they got. It's all
Like
about
y'all
the
don't see it. Y'all can't see it in the studio. Y'all can't see it on this screen right here, but I see it up close. My brother has a burn mark right here on his nose from all the years of the helmet sliding down on him. All the years of Bink hitting guys in the bar sliding down. Like he has a groove right here.
yeah, no bullshit. Happened to the best of them. He said shit back when I played, I wasn't happy unless that's how we was coached to play though. He was not coached to go out there and have a good game. And it was like, nah, we hate them. They got on a
Now,
blue jersey. We wanna go take that from them.
now look at what you just said. Now I know it's gonna be one ignorant some bitch that's in this jump. Sorry, Uncle Nesto, but it's gonna be one ignorant fool that's in there that's gonna be like, "Where is this going?" No, really listen to what we just said. Listen to everything that we just explained
Mm-hmm.
about when I hit a guy, when Bing hit a guy, the level that we had. It was no other choice at those two moments in both of our stories where it was I see him another day. It was I gotta see this guy now, and it just is what it is. I can't run from him. Even if we wanted to, even if you have a human moment, because you're confident, but you have this moment, where you might have a human moment. Like you've heard Tyson say, you've heard Ray Leonard say, I've heard Holyfield, I heard all the great ones to the unknown great ones say it. Like, shit, man, I gotta see this guy. And the thing is, though, you thinking this, but the other guy thinking the same thing about you.
Yeah.
Little do you know, like, man, I gotta get in there with. Like, I remember one guy I talked to. He said, "Man, I had to think about when that Wednesday came. We spar. I remember one time there was
Yo,
one dude I swear we
Q.
sparred on.
What's up,
You
brother?
know, we sparred on a Wednesday. He said that Tuesday night he thought about me. He thought about because I had already sparred him before. I was helping him
Mhm.
get ready, and he was helpful. And he was like, "Man, all I could think about was that first one, and how fast you were, how fast, and how slick you were, and how I was like, man, how am I going to touch this guy?" And I don't know what shot because I'm known for sneaky pop. Like not, I don't have pure pop. My stuff is speed. So everything I hit you is either speed that hurts you, my timing that hurts you, or me rocking you to sleep like boom, 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 boom. The last two be hard. And I'm like, shoot, man, I was thinking about, man, this dude keep coming. He always in my chest. I gotta keep turning him. And every time I'm in the ring swing, every time I turn him, he right back on me. We both thinking this about each other, but we not thinking that, man, this dude ain't worried about me. He thinking I'm not worried about him.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, all right, I'll box him.
Matter of
You
fact,
know,
bro.
that's
My fault. Go ahead.
that mind frame. Like I remember a few weeks ago in the gym, I'm in camp right now, helping my teammates get ready for their fights. Like we all in their camaraderie is on one right now. Shout out to Frankie Franchise. Shout out to Trey Pound, 10K Trey. Shout out to Too Sharp, Big Sharpie, Little Bad Man. There's guys that asked me about what was it like with your Uncle Nesto and your dad and all the other fighters that you mentioned at that gym at old Hillcrest. The gym that y'all see on my Instagram across the parking lot. If you ever see, you'll see another. It says Bingo Hall. That used to be Hillcrest, and that was headbangers before headbangers. Like that place, Oak Crest round one, all of them, the ringmasters, them Jones they were on it. Like, and these guys, you came to get it. Then it was just what it was. I said, man, I saw a lot of careers get ended in that parking lot. A lot of dudes walked out of them double doors and left their mouthpieces in the driveway, Slim, and rolled over it with their car.
Ain't for
Straight like
everybody.
that.
It ain't for
And
everybody.
that was the mentality. Like you just heard Big Me explain. Like, man, I can't run from this guy. And I believe in myself. I'm confident, but I got to see this dude right now. It is what it is. And these guys now, it's more or less, it always gets thrown on, man, it's boxing business, it's boxing business, it's boxing business. Tell that to Sean Porter.
He ain't trying to hear that shit. Man,
Tell
Sean
that to
fought
Sean Porter. Sean
everybody,
Porter fought them
man.
all. He
Sean,
fought them all.
he don't get enough respect, bro. People don't even know. But people, when you see Sean Porter, because he's very personable, you see Sean Porter,
Yes.
man, make sure you shake that man hand, give him his respect. Man.
Yes.
Make sure you
Can
do that,
you
man. Make sure you do
can
that.
you imagine if he lived in the
Sean
80s?
embodied boxing.
What?
He is the guy. He is the guy. He fought literally everybody and didn't just go in there and fight. He fought everybody like tooth and nail. This is mine. And even when he lost, you knew he was there. Sean fought everybody, man. So make sure
Whether
you show
he
him
had
that
the
respect.
box or he had to fight, he gave you both.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he was in the 80s, he would be, oh my God. If he was in the 80s,
Right.
you know how much love he would get if he was in the 80s or 90s era?
Sean boxed like he has that football. I could tell he was a football player. I could tell he used to ball.
Yeah.
I could definitely. Matter of
Yeah.
fact,
And I heard he was good too.
My man Q just joined the chat. I hope he's still in here. I played this guy Q, my man Quentin Walker, man. I served with him in the military, and we made a pact. We said, man, military.
I remember this.
But this ain't for us. We gonna get out. We gonna train our ass off for the next 3.5 years. We gonna work hard as hell. We gonna get out. We gonna go play football. We're gonna go to college. We're gonna live our dreams and play football. And that's exactly.
Tell him why. Tell him why. Remember what? Tell him with like the other part where you didn't know, and he hipped you to something. You were like, wait, we still eligible? He was like, yeah, we still eligible.
Right. So the whole story is it was me and I met Q, and then we met our guy Matt Seacrest. He is a hell of a trainer. He lives down in North Carolina now. We all made a pact. It was me, Quentin, and my man Matt Seacrest. We all ended up meeting and clicking up or whatever. We all lived in the same barracks, and we all bonded through football. It was like Matt was up in the in another barracks room watching. He wanted to watch a 49ers game on replay, but it was a Saturday, and we was gonna watch college football. So I go up there, and he up there watching the 49ers game. I said, I'm trying to watch Clemson. That's my squad. So we got to rapping about football. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm training. I'm about to get out and go play football again. And I'm like, damn, you can do that? So you can do that? He said, yeah. Like, once you join the military, your eligibility stops. Like, you still got your eligibility when you get out. He said, I'm training. I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to play here. And then we met Quentin. And we was like, yo, this is it. This is it, bro. Like, this is what we're going to do. And all three of us, like, we locked in and we trained our asses off. And we did it, man. We all went to college. We all played. Man, I'll be right back, bro.
Played bowl games. What is he about to go get? But like they played, and with those type of situations, you have no other choice but to show up.
It's really tremendous, man. It's really tremendous, man. We all played football, and we all came back with these. We all came back with these, man.
That's a bowl game.
Yeah. To go from 19-year-old kids, man, bonding over football games, watching football on TV, and then made a pact to sit down and do this. And we all played together. We all got these, man. So the mentality that you have to go through something like that, I feel it. I never boxed, but I understand. I can see where y'all coming from. I can see where the physicality and everything comes from, because you have to be that way. And there's no ducking, no smoke. Ain't no ducking, no smoke. When that guy's lined up over there at Showtime and you at Top Rank, man, go get that smoke. Because it's bigger than boxing business at this point. It's about your legacy. What do you want to be remembered as? And a lot of these guys nowadays, when it's time to remember them 20, 30 years from now, what we going to be talking about? How they didn't fight this guy. How they didn't fight this guy. How this fight should have happened.
Or how they lied.
That's what we're going to be talking about.
Devin.
Right. That's
Devin
your legacy.
Was talking about, I want to fight. I want to do this. I want to do that. And people respected him because He took the email champ thing and flipped it. He wound up going to any network, giving them whatever fights they wanted, just the skunk guy.
Devin legacy
And
gonna be crazy.
now it's kind of like, because you know how quickly people forget. Quick example, look at Amir Khan. Amir Khan for whoever, and he was known to have heart even when he was hurt. But as soon as Amir Khan winded up taking that low blow, taking that body shot and claiming it was a low blow, oh, he's a quitter. How quickly
Mhm.
people forget. So now it's like, oh, Devin trying to duck Shakur. And now people forget that he did this, and this, and he went for this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. And now that's the problem. So and you can wind up having these situations turn out to be a blip in time that we all miss. Well, man, this could have been this could have been that, and it doesn't happen.
I feel you. I feel you. I like what Keem Mitchell said though. He said Porter fought them all at their best. Brooke Thurman, Danny Spence, you guys Crawford. He did claim boxing business when it came to the young guns like Ennis and Virgil. I remember that interview. I remember that conversation he had. He was like, I'm not gonna be the gatekeeper that fights them. I've done because of what you said, because he fought Brooke, he thought Thurman, he thought
Yeah.
Danny. He fought all those guys. Why should I have to be the gatekeeper guy that goes down there and fights these young guys coming up? I
And you
understand
saw what
boxing
they
business.
did.
Was
They
that
put Sergey Lipinets in that position. When Sean wouldn't do it, they
right?
put Sergey Lipinets as
Right,
that guy.
right, right, right. So I mean, I understand, but at the same time, like that's like legitimate boxing business in my opinion. Because Sean Porter, bro, like he's not a guy you just throw in a scenario to see if he's ready for a title shot or something like that. Not Sean Porter. Sean Porter literally fought everybody. I could see at the worst out of that list. I could see Thurman. I could see Thurman,
But he
but
fought Thurman at his best.
right, he fought Thurman and he's damn. Look, there it is. Punchy as hell. Punchy as hell. Sean Porter. He fought Thurman at his best. He fought Thurman at his best, man. So I would like to see him versus Ennis or Virgil after they either fought each other or they fought higher competition. But definitely not Sean Porter at that point when he had that interview. Not at that point. Not at that point.
So now I have to ask you, where does Spence and Crawford stand on it? Because you kind of want to say it's like Johnny Tapia and Danny Romero. Because remember, that was a fight that was 5, 6, 7 years in the making.
Yeah.
And then it finally happened. And that fight was so heightened with Johnny Tapia and Danny Romero. They wanted to do it at the pit in Albuquerque because remember, both of them were from New Mexico. But the gang ties and the brutalness, they was like, nah, man, we can't have this fight here.
Mm-hmm.
They put it at the Thomas and Mack Center in Vegas on the
Right.
UNLV campus. So is it boxing? How much of Crawford and Spence was boxing? Because remember, I broke it all down. And people thought I was bull jiving. They thought I was full of it. People were trying to talk giant. I called every last one of them out. It was like, I said, you got something to say? None of them wanted to reply. But I put it out there and broke it down every single time me and Bink had got some information that was legit. We put it out there on the show that Friday.
It was definitely boxing business. Definitely boxing business. But I don't feel like even today, I don't feel like that fight is as stale as some of the other fights. I feel like it's still a good fight. Both of these guys are still in their prime. And honestly, with everything that Errol Spence has been through, the car accident, then he breaks his thing and his eyeball falling out of his head, and he fixes that, and he's still able to come back and fight at this high level. I mean, I think it's the right time because he's been through a lot these last few years, and yeah, boxing business, but I don't think it's stale yet. I mean, it's there. It's like when you smell the milk and
Yeah.
you like I got a couple more days out of this. I got a couple more days. I can eat a bowl of cereal with this. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's at. It's not throw the milk away, but it's almost stale to the point where you could be like, I don't get paid till
I
next week.
can
You
make it
go
work.
ahead. I can make it work. You know what I'm saying? We can make Spence and Crawford work. It still got a little bit left in it, man. It ain't stale yet. It ain't stale to the point it makes everybody mad. But should it have happened a while ago? For sure. Definitely for sure.
if that fight don't be fireworks, we will never hit the end of it.
Oh yeah, that's like a tit for tat. You know, touch him fight. Oh, I don't see that though. I don't think Spence going for that at all, and I definitely don't think Crawford going for that.
I believe the first four will be it'll be tactical. The first 4 or 5. After that, they're gonna get closer and closer to each other and turn into a war.
100%.
Tactical war and then a full out war.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
And then whoever wins, it won't be long. So you hear, well, somebody's gonna get downplayed. If Spence win, they're gonna say, man, Crawford was too small anyway. What you expect? We told y'all that he was coming up from 35. What y'all expect?
I've seen Crawford in person. He like my size when he walking
Yeah,
around. He ain't
yes,
little. Crawford is not
he
little.
ain't little. If Bud wins, they're gonna say, man, he fought Spence. He did this and the third negotiation, and he fought Spence off the accident and this and that. He ain't be no real Spence. No, no, they both fighting each other. They fighting that they're not that worn off at all. Both of them are basically superhuman. I mean, just like you said, with Spence going with what he went through, people forget what Bud went through, getting shot in the head. Just thankfully, the daggone bullet spun when it hit the glass, and that derailed the bullet just enough. So, what did you know about that story?
Yep.
Yeah, like and that
I got
bullet
I got some
spinning,
boys that's from where he from, like Omaha. I got some friends from up
Omaha.
there. Omaha gutter, yo. It ain't
Oh
it
yeah.
ain't it ain't nothing slight out there.
Yeah, he said it. He said, yeah, I don't bother them, they don't bother me. But he was out there, like he was out there getting it in, man. Like, he was just like in your own.
Hey, yo, Al said, ain't no whoever wins Spence gonna put it on him. You heard it here from the OG.
He might, Mr. Al. I'm not saying that he
Yeah,
won't. He might, but it could go both ways. I remember early in the gym today they was talking about, man, this fight it could be a possibility to be a draw. And I was like, shoot, with they levels, who knows? It could come to.
right.
You got fights where, for people who don't know, you got fights where I can't stand when I hear people say, I won,
Good point, Mitch. That's a good point.
and where
Come
they
on,
feel
bro.
like I won and they know they lost. You can't lie. Like, you are literally getting legally assaulted. You know when you getting your ass whooped.
Oh, like when
Sorry,
AB
Uncle Let's
said
Go.
when AB said he beat Pacquiao.
Come on, bro. What the just can't help himself. You are getting legally assaulted. You know
Hey,
when you
that shit
getting
was
your ass
crazy.
whooped. Okay? You know. So there's no you can't sit there and say that, oh no, I feel when the fight, oh yeah, I'm outclassing this guy, or I gotta just watch out for that. Yeah, I won that round easy. Whatever, when the fight's close, like, all right, it's round for round. Like, I got those last two, he got that last one though. All right, I'm up 2-1. I know I could probably be up 2-1, or it could be 1-1-1. Like, it's a draw round. So we know,
Mhm.
and when the fight's tight, like punch for punch,
AB.
point for point, tight. Oh Lord.
Yo, AB so classic, yo. He's so AB gonna go down in history, boy.
Y'all
I'm
know I
telling
beat
you.
that boy.
I know y'all know I beat that boy. Yeah.
I was hitting him. He was missing. And I won this fight.
Yeah. Oh man. Clubozo.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's time for me to get off. I can't with y'all,
Clubozo.
bro.
This is a good point though. I'll say I just don't want the judges involved. Politics all month. Yes, sir. They've been
Oh yeah.
killing us this year. They've been kill. Oh my God, they've been killing us, man. Judges, referees, man. Don't get in between this fight. Unless you have to break in and say, break. Unless you have to, stay out the way. Let them boys work. Let Crawford and Spence work. We do not need y'all in between this. We don't need you, Kenny Bayless, to jump in here and stop this fight. I ain't gonna bring that dumb shit up because it's stupid. I'm not gonna talk about that. But we don't need that. Stay out of the way, man. Let them boys do it. These are professionals at
It's
the highest level. The highest
that's
level.
gonna
Let
be
them
the
boys fight.
thing.
Let them boys
That's gonna
fight,
be the
man.
thing. That right there, what you just said is gonna be the thing, because that fight goes from the first one. We're gonna be wondering who the judges. How
Mm-hmm.
the judges gonna be calling? We're gonna be wondering, is this referee gonna let Earl work on the inside?
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna let Bud Paul and stick his glove out?
Right.
We're gonna wonder, is it gonna be how is it gonna be scored? And it's gonna be so much going into that first bell. This is why I say I do not believe them two gonna fight each other until I hear seconds out.
Right. Right.
Then I'll take out, all right, yeah, they about to bump. All right, here we go.
It's a lot going
So
into this
that's
fight,
gonna be
man.
the thing,
Mega fight. Mega
but
fight.
that's boxing business for you. I mean, it's just point being is you got certain things that are plausible, logical, where yes, because of this, that, and the third, or whatever the case may be, and it's legitimate. You could tell the fighter's wholehearted on why this and that couldn't take place. Then you got the other ones out there who aren't necessarily built as that guy. So, but their way of finding their way out is to say this and say that and do this and do that.
He said, Mitch said, what did you think of the lazy ass judge and T.O.S. Taylor fight? He stayed out the way, but he kept getting a break from long distance. What was his name again? I forget his
No,
name. But
it's
honestly,
okay.
I didn't have a problem with him doing that because he didn't have they listened to his command. It's always
Yes,
obey my command. You know, if they obey his command when they hear it, that's cool. You don't always have to jump in there. That's just my opinion, you know.
exactly.
You know, but
You
I think he
only
did a good
jump
job
in
staying
if
out the
you
way.
gotta really pry them out the way and
Right,
say, and then box. But if
right,
not, stop,
right,
clean break, no punching,
right.
box. Like you can do that off of your command. That's a good way you want to fight because you forget the referees there. You don't see
Hmm.
him as much.
Right, right, right. I forgot the ref was even in the ring. Matter of fact, I'm like, damn, who was in there ref? And I forget his name. I can see his face. I forget his name though. Yeah, he didn't do a bad job, in my opinion. But I feel what you're saying though, because sometimes the refs ain't involved enough. You know, dude, sleep standing up for 7 seconds, and then
Hmm.
they want to try to jump in there. Man, come on, man, what you doing? What you doing? You know what I'm saying. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. Another
Yeah.
episode in the books. Episode in the books, man. We got some more stuff to talk about. I know Spence and Crawford had their press conference today. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. I've been working, man. I had football practice, and now I'm on here with you guys. But I'm gonna watch that either tonight or tomorrow, and we can maybe get on that and see what the hell they was talking about and whose mentality is where.
All right. Till tomorrow then.
Indeed, man. Y'all
And
take it
I'm
easy, man.
exhausted.
I'm
I'm
tired,
in
man. I can
camp.
see it for sure, man. Y'all get y'all rest. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Share this. Share the profile. Share our Instagram. Share Slipping Counter, man. Y'all come on here and talk boxing with us, man. We love doing this with y'all, man. Thank you, Keen Mitch. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Q.
Yes,
Thank you, everybody
indeed.
that joined the chat, man. And right back with you guys again. Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.